What's going on, guys? Desi here, and let's do another Outlook video on NQ and ES and see what we're working with going into Tuesday. So I posted my video on Saturday on what I thought was going to happen. Gap up 1% day. We got all that good work on NQ and ES. We closed out our swings around 50%. They were Friday expiration, and we got a really nice gain on those, and pretty much caught the whole move up on those. So, with that being said, or Monday expiration, excuse me. So, with that being said, let's go back into it and see what we're looking at. If you go on NQ daily chart, I talked about this volume imbalance getting tapped into, and that's exactly where we got into before actually rejecting and coming kind of, back down towards the end of the day. And if you guys look at ES as well, ES has not quite tapped into that volume imbalance, right? So, what I want is tomorrow, potentially ES to tap into this 4205 area. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, I know exactly where the market is gonna go from here. It is a very hard read now on the daily chart. My expectation would be going into 4205 on ES, but I'm gonna most likely avoid, doing too much stuff. I close out my swings. And then I have, for day trades, if we get a good move, we'll take it. But overall, it's a very hard read on the market right now on what it's going to do. We have a lot of news that can accelerate price very quickly. Personally, what I would like to do is tap into, up here on NQ, and then, potentially come lower for one last leg down. And let's look at some areas of buy side on NQ that I'm actually going to target for tomorrow. So, for tomorrow, I want to target this area of buy side here at 536 on NQ, and I would actually like for us to come up and sweep that, and then tap into these gaps here and start rejecting that on that the 4 hour or the daily time frame. NQ, like I said, the hourly, same kind of area that I want us to come and sweep. We created a order block here on the hourly chart, so keep in mind and watch that. The only thing that kind of threw me off today is that we did not sweep this 303 or 302 level. This is something that I was looking for a potential sweep. Earlier in the day, we did not get it. So now this kind of throws my bias off. We have a very good area of buy side, very good area of sell side. Just looking at a daily, we tapped into that volume imbalance and rejected. But ES really hasn't tapped into that volume imbalance, like I mentioned. And my buy side for ES is going to remain around this 4205 0.75 level, and that's going to be the tap into that daily volume imbalance. So I think it will be more of a buy the dip day tomorrow. Like I said, the Saturday plan that I posted worked out perfectly. I said they're going to catch everyone off sides, and what did they do? They did. But even though I had my correct bias, kind of go over the trades that I did. So we had our swings that went 50%. We had I had a QQQ day trade puts 0 to E that went around 80% off of the sweep earlier. So I'll show you guys that trade real quick. Let's go over NQ. Very quickly go over the trade that I took on NQ. And it was this one right here. So we had, I don't want to make this into a complete a trade recap, but let's go over this trade real quick. So we had this sweep here on NQ. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Right, I saw this gap was, respecting for a while, and then it flipped to an inverse gap, and then an outlet that was simply slap the inverse gap. I talked about this model. The highest probability model is inverse gaps, and this is pretty much the trade that I took earlier in the day to catch such a crazy move on 0 Ts. It was literally this right here: sweep, wait for inverse fair value gap. We got the inverse fair value gap, slap the inverse gap, and it would take out liquidity. And I was still a little bit bearish in the morning because I wanted this 302 take. We never got it, which is going to take me to my next trade on a 0 DTE put. I took puts up here, expecting one more, dive down into this liquidity. We did not get it. I lost about $200 on that. It was a 0 DTE lotto play. I don't use stops on my lottos, obviously. I sized in with about $200, and then the full contract went to zero on that. And let's go over our Top Step account here. Almost literally $95 off of $20,000 within, I don't know, this is just 18, 19 days. This is the 12th trading day on it. 92% win rate on this. got a little scalp out, $700. Building up those total winning days. So yeah, overall NQ, my bias is going to be higher for tomorrow. Again, like I said, it's going to be a very tricky day to trade. It is NFP week. We have FOMC on Wednesday. We have JOLTS and other data, throughout the week. We have more news tomorrow. It's a very jam-packed week. NFP is going to make this a little bit of a, trickier price action. Don't get caught up in this price action. Don't FOMO. Don't chase. There will be opportunities next week, the week after. If this isn't something you comfortable trading, don't trade it. I've been preaching this all day. People are like, "Oh, where are the day trades out?" Just chill, relax, and once price action is today's price action was decent, right? It was decent, but I was a little bit cautious because of NFP week, and that major area of liquidity didn't get taken out. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay hands off a little bit, and not do too much stuff. But definitely going into the week, I'm pacing myself on how many trades I want to take. Because NFP week, like I said, is very, not high probability, and there's a lot of, wacky stuff that happens during it. But yeah, tomorrow bias higher into what? Into that volume imbalance for ES, which is right around 42.05. And I think we have a very, clear area liquidity booked here for NQ, right? This might get taken overnight. Before 76, you pretty much have a relative equal high on NQ. So if we tap into, one of these imbalances overnight, let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, this 15-minute fair value gap looks really good, right? If the price pushes back into it, this will be our area of liquidity to get taken out. So 42.05 tomorrow on ES, NQ a little bit higher as well. And then as price action, continues to happen, as days pass, we'll update the weekly outlook accordingly. So far so good. Bias for upside is good. Pretty much caught everyone off sides, hence the video name on Saturday. So that was really good to see, and then our swings paid very nicely into open. So I hope this helps. I honestly hope the weekly outlook videos and daily outlook videos help a lot, because it's a little hard to navigate this price action sometimes, especially when you have such a big expansion move on the daily chart, weekly chart. We're kind of coiling now, and I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of a chop zone coming up on the higher time frame. So I'm trying to help you guys navigate through that. So good luck tomorrow. Be patient, be disciplined. NFP week, and thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.